Discover Uganda. 10 interesting facts about Uganda. Uganda, which is officially referred to as the Republic of Uganda or Jamhuri ya Uganda, is an East African country. As of 2021, the United Nations data for Uganda's population stands at 47.7 million people. This landlocked country is bordered to the east by Kenya, to the north by South Sudan, to the west by the Democratic Republic of Congo, to the southwest by Rwanda, and to the south by Tanzania. In this video, you will discover 10 interesting facts about Uganda. Before that, I'd like to thank our returning subscribers. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos. Let's get into it. Number 10. Amazing foods. Matoke, fried grasshoppers, and Rolex. Matoke, also known as matuki, a matuki in Buganda, is a staple food crop in Uganda. The medium-sized green fruits, which are a specific group of bananas, are known in the Bantu languages of Uganda as matoke. The fruit is harvested green, carefully peeled, and then cooked, and often mashed or pounded into a meal. Matuki is usually served with meat, fish, or peanut sauce and some vegetables. It is a must-try for anyone visiting Uganda. Fried grasshoppers, nsenene as they are referred to in the Luganda language, are a nutritious delicacy in many Ugandan communities and a sought-after snack for the urban population. During rush hour in the capital, young people with baskets or plastic buckets move through traffic selling boiled or deep-fried ready-to-eat grasshoppers to commuters. However, grasshoppers are not eaten by everyone in Uganda. They are a totem to the Senen clan in Buganda Kingdom, so members of the clan cannot eat grasshoppers because it is considered a taboo. C. Rolex. When you hear the word Rolex at a food joint in Uganda, you might be forgiven for thinking of the famous watch brand. However, the name Rolex comes from its method of preparation, with the chapati and omelette rolled together with some vegetables. This idea originated from a chapati seller's creativity in the Busoga region, then it spread to Wandegeya, next to Makerere University in Uganda, fueled by students who needed a quick meal because of time and budget limitations. This single-portion dish is quick to prepare and can be eaten at any time of the day, from breakfast to lunch or supper as a meal or snack. Number 9. Gorilla trekking. Uganda has more than half of the world's mountain gorilla population found on the Virunga mountain slopes in Gahinga Gorilla National Park, MGNP, and Gindi National Park, BNP. In these areas, trekking takes place at 5 locations: Buhoma, Ruhija, Rushaga, Nkurigo in BINP, and Tebeko in MGNP. There are 2 species of gorilla recorded in Africa: the eastern and western gorilla. Uganda's mountain gorilla is a subspecies of the eastern gorilla found only in the East Central African rainforests. They live only in the mountains at elevations between 8,000 and 13,000 feet, surrounded by human agriculture and settlements. Mountain gorillas have an average lifespan of 35 years in the wild. They are the bulkiest and most powerful living primates and are vegetarian, eating roots, shoots, fruits, wild celery, tree barks, and pulp, but also eat snails and ants. Gorilla trekking is the highlight of all visits in Uganda. It is a hike to the tropical forest of Africa to see the mountain gorillas in their natural habitat. When you go gorilla trekking, there is no set path or marked path. You walk through an unmarked forest. It can be done all around the year, but the best time to go gorilla trekking is during the months of June, July, August, September, and December. This is when there are less rains and the parks are drier, making it simple to hike and see gorillas and learn about their social life, ways of communication, and how they reproduce. In 2018, the mountain gorilla was removed from the list of critically endangered species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, after intensive conservation efforts paid off. They are now classified as endangered. Let's go gorilla trekking. Number 8. Currency. The shilling, whose sign is Yush, code UGX, is the currency of Uganda. It was officially divided into cents until 2013, but now the shilling has no subdivision. The Bank of Uganda is the institution with the sole right to print, issue, and destroy banknotes and coins in Uganda. Before 1966, the function of managing monetary affairs of Uganda was vested in the East African Currency Board. In 1966, the BOU Act created the Bank of Uganda and started issuing Uganda's first currency. Ugandan currency has changed several times since 1966. The 1966, 1973, 1979, 1983, and 1986 issues were as a result of regime changes. The 1987 issue has undergone a series of upgrading in an effort to crack down counterfeits and easy transactions. Number 7. World's smallest church. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, the smallest chapel in the world is found on the Niagara River close to the Niagara on the lake in Canada. Known as the Living Water Wayside Chapel, it was built in 1969 by the Christian Reformed Church and can contain only 6 people. This fact remained undisputed until much recent finding proved that the records needed an update. Did you know that Uganda has one of the smallest churches in the world? The building called the Chapel on Biku Hill is built of stones and can only accommodate 3 people, including the priests. At Biku Hill, 18-kilometer drive from the town of Nebi, in the northwest of Uganda, there dwells a man-made wonder that can only be encountered while on safari tours in Uganda. It stands at a width approximately 2.5 meters and height of 8 feet. It was discovered by 2 United Nations workers, Solomon Oleni and his colleague Miburu and their friend Godfred, while on an official mission. This tiny worshipping place dates back to 1996, when a Korean national pastor song in conjunction with the currently retired Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, His Lordship Henry Luke Orombi, established this amazing structure that has in turn piqued the interest of travelers on Uganda safari holidays. This Bethel Church is surrounded by 10 prayer points that allow people to pray for different things, praise as well as meditate on the Word of God. The midpoint prayer point was built in a worm shape along the main chapel, and it is the smallest of all points. It is not accessed by clergy or tourists. The Bethel Church is a breathtaking tourist site. Number 6. Kampala. Kampala is the commercial capital and largest city of Uganda, bordering Lake Victoria, which is Africa's largest lake. The city has a population of about 1.68 million people and is reported to be among the fastest growing cities in Africa, with an annual population growth rate of 4.03%. It is a hilly place with valleys filled with sluggish rivers and swamps. The highest point in the city is the summit of Kololo Hill at 1,311 meters in the center of the city, and the lowest point of the shores of Lake Victoria south of the city center at an altitude of 1135 meters. Kampala was originally built on 7 hills but has expanded to cover more than those. The original hills are Old Kampala Hill, Mengo Hill, Kibulim Hill, Nambirembe Hill, Lubaga Hill, Nsabya Hill, and Nakasero Hill. The city is located on the East African Plateau between 2 arms of the East African Rift and on the northern limits of Tanzania Craton, and has a tropical rainforest climate. These hills covered with red tile villas and trees surround an urban center of contemporary skyscrapers. In this downtown area, the Uganda Museum explores the country's tribal heritage through an extensive collection of artifacts. On Mengo Hill is Lubiri Palace, which was the former seat of the Buganda Kingdom. Situated in the country's most prosperous agriculture section, Kampala exports coffee, cotton, tea, tobacco, and sugar. The city has numerous food, metal, and furniture enterprises as well as tractor assembly plants. It is the headquarters for most of Uganda's large firms and the chief market for the Lake Victoria region. There is also a technical institute in Kampala and is the seat of Makerere University, which was founded in 1922, became a university college in 1949, and a university in 1970. The city is home to several mosques, Hindu temples, and Christian churches. Number 5. Languages. Uganda is a multilingual nation. 43 of its languages fall into 4 main families. Bantu, Nilotic and Central Sudanic, with another 2 languages in the Kuliak family. Of these, 41 are indigenous and 2 are non-indigenous. Additionally, 5 are institutional, 27 are developing, 7 are vigorous, 2 are in trouble and 2 are dying. English was inherited from the colonial period. English and Swahili are the official languages of Uganda, even though English is more popular. The English dialect spoken in Uganda is sometimes called Uglish or Ugandan English, and the rich flavor characterizes the language. It is strongly influenced by native languages, and speakers in Uganda always alter non-native words so that they sound more euphonic. Swahili is not as widespread, even though it was made an official national language in September 2005. In 2010, the government of Uganda revealed plans to establish a Kiswahili Council to boost the teaching of the Swahili language in the country. It was not until September 9, 2019, that the cabinet passed resolution to create a national Kiswahili Council. The Luganda language has more than 4 million speakers in Uganda, in addition to non-native speakers. The language falls under the Greater Niger-Congo language family. It is primarily spoken in the Buganda region, which sits in the central Uganda and includes the capital of Kampala. Luganda was used as the official language of instruction in East Uganda primary schools until the 1960s. Currently, Luganda is the country's most spoken local language. Other native languages of Uganda include Nyoro, Toro, Rukiga, and Lunyole. In Uganda's constitution, there is also Ugandan Sign Language used by Ugandan deaf communities. Number 4. Dressing. Due to cultural diversity in Uganda, they do not have a specific national dress. Therefore, every tribe has a unique traditional outfit that distinguishes it from other tribes. These traditional clothes are worn mostly during cultural ceremonies such as giveaways, introduction, or engagement ceremonies called kwanjula, weddings, coronation ceremonies, funerals, and other festivals. The outfits include gomesi, also known as busuka, kanzu, kikoi, suti, omushanana, and grass skirts. Comfort and decency are key in the choice of attire for Ugandan people. Number 3. Murchison Falls. The Murchison Falls, also known as Kabalega Falls, is the waterfall between Lake Kyoga and Lake Albert on the River Nile in Uganda. It was named after the geologist Roderick Murchison, then the president of the Royal Geographical Society. It is one of the world's most powerful waterfalls, emitting large volumes of water, about 300 cubic meters per second, at a very high pressure, causing its surroundings to tremble. At the peak of the waterfall, the forceful waters of the Nile shoves its way through a narrow gap in the rocks only 7 meters wide, then drops down into a pool known as the Devil's Cauldron, before flowing westward into the Lake Albert. It is surrounded by the Murchison Falls National Park. Riverbanks are dotted with hippos, buffaloes, and crocodiles, whereas elephants, chimpanzees, lions, leopards, and giraffes roam the forests and savannas. This is a sight for sore eyes. The waterfall experiences a dry season and a wet season. The dry season occurs from December to February and from June to September. The wet season is from March to May and September to November. Number 2. National bird. The gray-crowned crane is Uganda's national bird. It is scientifically known as Balearica rigolorum giboriceps. The crested crane, as it is known in Uganda, was chosen as the national emblem because of its beauty and elegance. The gray-crowned crane is a bird of national significance to Uganda because it occupies a prime position on the nation's national flag and coat of arms. It has been Uganda's symbol for almost 100 years. The crested crane is one of the most beautiful and majestic birds in Africa. The bird stands well over 3 feet tall on long, slender black legs. Its neck is almost as long as its legs, while its pointed pearl gray feathers are elongated to form an ornamental fringe. The crane's most prominent feature is the golden crown of feathers on its head. The following characteristics show why this bird is unique. A. They are monogamous. B. Males and females equally share parental responsibilities. C. Either the male or female will perform what is called the nuptial dance when courting the other. D. They can rest in trees because they can grip branches with their toes. When at rest, the crested crane seems to be enveloped in a cape of exquisite delicacy with its multicolored head, where the three colors of Uganda's flag, black, yellow and red, seem to be represented. The conspicuous velvety black forehead, yellowish crest, and vivid bright red wattles make the bird an elegant creature befitting its symbolic role as the national bird. The grey-crowned crane is fabled for its gentle nature and was also the military badge of Ugandan soldiers when Uganda was still a British protectorate. Number 1. President. The President of the Republic of Uganda is the head of state and the head of government of Uganda. The President leads the executive branch of the government of Uganda and is the Commander-in-Chief of the Ugandan People's Defense Force. President Yoweri Museveni came to power in the year 1986 and is the longest-serving president of Uganda, ahead of Idi Amin Dada, who ruled from 1971 to 1979. In 2005, presidential term limits were removed, and in 2017, the removal of the previous upper age limit of 75 was also announced. The qualifications for president according to Article 102 of Uganda's constitutions are that a person must be A. A citizen of Uganda by birth, B. Not less than 35 and not more than 75 years of age, was adhered to before amendment, C. Qualified to be a member of parliament. General RTD Yoweri Kaguta Tibuharuga Museveni was born on the 15th of September 1944. He is a Ugandan politician and retired senior military officer who is the 9th and current president of Uganda. Museveni was involved in rebellions that toppled Ugandan presidents like Milton Obote and Idi Amin before he got into power in 1986. From the mid to late 1990s, Museveni was celebrated by the West as part of a new generation of African leaders. His rule is said to be authoritarian. In 2021, Yoweri Museveni was re-elected for a sixth term with 58.6% of the total votes, despite there being allegations of electoral fraud and human rights violation. We have come to the end of our video. Would you like to visit Uganda? If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment in the comment section. Remember to also subscribe if you haven't yet.